Better get the car ready. This week I am in the BMW i8, and as we all know, it is a hybrid sports car. It's not a full electric, it is a PHEV, it's a plug-in electric car, which means it has a petrol engine and a battery. It has both. It can run on pure electric, but only for a very, very short range compared to other electric cars. And then it has an engine that will kick in when you start to run out of charging. That will also charge up the battery as well. It will also allow both to work at the same time, so you get some more power. And this car is also a four-wheel drive as well, so it's a proper sports car. They're very expensive new, well over £100,000, but second hand you can pick one of these up for 70 grand, so you know, more than half the price after 2 years. They are a fantastic car. BMW have thought about everything. Comparing it to the Renault Zoe is not fair, but let's compare the app, which is, you know, fair comparison. They're both intuitive apps. Now, the first thing to say about the app on the BMW is it is so much easier to connect. This will also apply to the i3 as well as the i8. So it's a very simple process. You download the BMW app, you type the VIN number in of the car, and then you can either do two of one thing. You can either plug your phone in by USB, and that will also pull the VIN number up, or it will send a text message to the car. You read it on the car, you put it in your phone, and your phone syncs. That is it. You don't need to ring BMW, you don't need to get a special activation code. Compared to the Renault system, it is the easiest thing I've ever done. All I did, download the app, plug it in by USB, and then a text came through. I read the text, typed the number in, and we're connected. As soon as you're connected, you can do some additional things over some of the other electric cars. Obviously, you've got the preheat function that's available on all electric cars, but you can also unlock the doors, lock the doors, flash the lights. Now, these might seem gimmicky, but flashing the lights on your car will help you find the car if you've lost it in a car park. Unlocking and locking the door is useful if you've gone outside the house and forgotten the keys, or your partner's walked back to the car to go and get something in, say, an amusement park. You can unlock the door for her, lock it up straight afterwards, and it's fairly quick. It takes about 2 minutes, 3 minutes at most after you've pressed it, but I've tried it 10 times and 10 times it's worked. Same with the preheat, it's very, very good. You can even set the charge schedule and the preheat by timer on the app. It works, it's intuitive, it's easy. So one of the features I love on this car is the heads-up display, and as you can see just there on the dash, it will display the speed and speed limit of the area you're in. It can also display other various information like service call, or also sat navigation. It is lovely. It's a really, really nice feature. It's an extra on a lot of BMWs, but if you do have the option of adding it, I always thought it was a bit of a gimmick, but to actually use it and drive with it, it does make driving a little bit more relaxing, seeing the speed in front of you. I am going to give it a good drive, see what I think. I'm going to get some nice footage today for you. In front we've got Andy in the BMW M4, and then obviously myself in the BMW i8, so it's old versus new. One of the other little extras on the BMW i8 is the pedestrian warning, and this one here, and if you can see on the sat-nav dash, it will stop front-end collisions or you running over pedestrians, which is currently off. Don't know why you'd want to turn it off unless you're a mafia boss and you want to run somebody over. I'm in the BMW i8 here today, and I'm going to give it a good drive down the bypass, see what I think, what it's like at speed, have a bit of a play with various things. As I mentioned before, I've got the heads-up display in front of me, so I've neatly got the speed limit and speed in front of me, and I've got a chase car in front of me. I've got Andy in the BMW M4. He'll be getting me some nice shots, panoramic shots of me driving the car, so should be a nice scenic view for you for a change, rather than me sat at a desk talking into a camera. So I've got some nice, lovely shots for you today of Andy following me in the M4. So there's various things that you can do in the car. You've got comfort mode, which is just nice and soft, easy driving, easy sort of changes. You've got the Eco Pro, which tones down the horsepower of the car and the way the car acts, and that gives you the sort of balanced sort of best sort of eco, more fuel economy, more battery, more hybrid regeneration on the braking, and that will get you, I believe, BMW figures are over 100 mpg. Whether you believe those figures or not is up to you, but it's so far from our tests it does seem to be fairly good on fuel. I mean, a lot better than any other sports car that does this kind of horsepower and this kind of range. So it's a lovely car, really nice, solid drive. So, Comfort, Eco Pro, eDrive, so that presume, yeah, so eDrive, when you press eDrive you get Max eDrive, maximum electricity driving power. Speed is reduced, so yeah, we don't want that for today's test. Where's sports mode? Now, on the M4, like Andy's in front, it's just on the Comfort and Eco Pro toggle switch. This is why people need to read manuals. But then again, don't, because you'll put me out of a YouTube job. Ah, there it is. I've just found where the sports button is. It's not a button on the BMW i8, it is on the gear shifter. It's part of the sport gearbox, so I presume like in a normal BMW M4 where you switch it to the left to change manual gear, you'll switch it to the left for sports mode. And I believe that cuts in the petrol engine, which at the moment we are running full electric. So let's try that. Ooh! I don't know if you heard that, but the engine just roared at me. Goes, and I mean it goes. There is so much. I mean, I'm doing a speed so quickly, so softly that I didn't even think that was possible. The four-wheel drive system just puts the power down so effortlessly. I mean, it's beautiful drive. I mean, as you can see, as I go past Andy here, the power is just there, and I'm not even fully accelerating. I'm only tapping my foot very slightly on the accelerator, and it overtakes that M4 like it's not even there. Come on, Mr. M4, can you keep up with electric future?
With this angle.
Right.
Okay. Now what I might just do now is just take a bit of static footage. Let me just get
Anyone who thinks YouTube's easy, this is how complicated it is. We're currently sat in a car park while he drives forward and backwards with a GoPro to make sure we've got the right angle. Which is why you can see him creeping up. So what I want to know is, when I'm driving,
yeah,
and I'm going past at speed, can you hear the engine?
Not over this.
No, right. I can hear the engine because there's 4 speakers in the back going. That was someone walking into the sensors. See, this is the only problem with electric cars that no one ever tells you. If you haven't got a pedestrian warning noise to tell you when you're about to run them over, people don't move out the way of the car. One thing you do not get over with electric cars is how spookily quiet they are. So, Sport Mode, Eco Pro, or Sport Mode! You know, there's one thing about hybrid electrics. If you're still a petrol head, even with the fake engine sound coming through the speakers, they still sound awfully cool. I mean, that pitch of the note from the speakers, to me, it just sounds real. I can't tell. And I'm used to driving all sorts of sports cars, and you just can't tell. It just sounds very believable at the right time, the right frequency. Everything's right about it, and that's what's amazing about electric cars. Someone about to overtake Andy, wondering why the hell there's two sports cars driving at only 50 miles an hour. What they don't know is we're trying to film some really, really good YouTube shots for both of you, and we don't want to break the law by doing 75, 80 miles an hour, which we certainly weren't doing earlier. I know there's a lot of doubters about petrol electrics, but what you're going to remember is, for a lot of petrol heads, going electric is a big no-no, and they will be probably the last people to jump onto the electric bandwagon. And I'm a petrol head, but I drive an EV because I care about the future of the planet, and I care about the future for my children that I've not even had yet, and my children's children's future, and even other people's children. I care about the planet, and I care about trying to do the most I can. It also helps that they're a lot cheaper to run. But I mean, if you're a petrol head, and God, it's so eerily quiet in this compared to other cars. I mean, you still don't get used to it in an electric car, you really don't. But if you're a petrol head and you love the sound of a noisy engine, a real good grunt, I can tell you now that when I flick that into sports mode and those fake little speakers at the back put a fake pitched noise into the back of my ears, I can't tell it's fake. I think it's believable. Now, whether the people outside the car can hear anything, that's irrelevant. If you're buying this car, you're buying it for you, and you're buying it for your enjoyment. And if you and your passenger sat in it and you hear that engine grunt and it sounds completely believable to your ears, that's all that matters. The point is you're enjoying it. Now, Tesla and other manufacturers could take a lead from BMW and maybe add some sort of fun or artificial sounds to the inside ear tone. Let you have a bit of a play with it, because that engine sound sounds so real to me in sports mode. It really does. It sounds completely believable, and I can't tell it's fake. It revs at the right time. It sounds like it changes gear at the right time. The engine pitch changes. It sounds completely believable compared to driving a normal sports car, and that's what's important. You need to have this sort of passion with the car again, and this gets passion reignited with electric. Now, most drivers won't drive past the electric range in a day in one of these. So if you plug it in at home, you've got about 30-mile range, bit less depending on how you drive. But let's say worst case scenario, 25 miles, 20-mile range with the battery, and most people won't do that in a day. But if you do, you've still got your engine that backs you up, and then you'll get the high MPG returns. But you could drive it fully on electric. You could charge at home, charge at work, and you'd constantly be on electric. You'd be like any other EG driver, driving around on pure electric. But when you want that little bit of fun, that little bit of grunt, that little bit of noise, all you have to do is flick that stick to the left, hit it in sports mode, and hammer your foot to the floor, and you've got all the power. It's not got the acceleration or the takeoff of a Tesla, but it's got the passion and soul of a nice car in an electric vehicle. And as much as the haters will argue it's not a pure EV, if most BMW i8 drivers buy this and realise that electric is for them and it is fun and it converts a couple, isn't that what driving electric's about? A bit of fun, trying to get people over to electric cars, and that's what I think this car does. It reignites the passion of driving a car again.